Hi guys, James here from Sunseeker Southampton, down at our facilities in Poole today, just looking at one of our newly incoming part exchange stock boats against a new Sunseeker. Behind me is Boo Boo, which is a 2019 model Fairline Targa 43 Open. So just spin the camera around behind me here. Here she is. So built late 2018, 2019 model. Not many of these on the pre-owned market yet. So it's a new model launch for Fairline when they came back into build a couple of years back. And let's head on round, check her out in the flesh. It's one owner boat from new, and powered by Volvo's IPS D6 435 engines, which is their IPS 600, largest IPS on that platform. So it's a sprightly performance, with the benefit also of Volvo's DPS, which is their dynamic positioning or hold station when you push a button, which is great when you're waiting for your fuel key, or if you're waiting to come alongside a lock or what have you. It's a really nice feature that allows you to lock on with the GPS fix, and the boat will engage the engines and maintain the position for you. So here we are, just coming up close now. See these massive windows running through the hull. Real statement piece on this. So it's a great looking boat. Hard top finish, big electric opening roof there, which we'll check out in a sec. Eagerly awaited when Fairline came back into this market. Previously their range went from a Targa 38 up to a Targa 48, so quite a big gap. And this came back into the market. It's a 2-cabin layout with a big saloon in the middle, 2 bathrooms, and of course a garage on the back, which is rare for something this size. So you'll see this this aft section here is a hydraulic high-low platform, 400 kilo lifting capacity, so you could stick a little 3-seater jet ski on the back if you so wish. And then the aft section here, which we'll lift up in a sec, will give you a garage for a Williams 280 mini jet. So nice if you want to keep the whole back end of the boat clean, just to keep a single tender in the garage there, without really affecting your performance. So it's a great looking boat from all angles. So let's head on board and take a look around. A full teak pack, so teak on the platform here of course, and then up through the cockpit and down the side decks. Little features to point out here: we've got a lovely exposed weave carbon ensign staff on the back here, just a little attention to detail. Practical touches like this is the shore power lead socket plug in there, and then engine access is in through the aft cockpit here, which we'll go and have a look at in a sec. Med setup, so we've got stern docking winches here fitted to the boat already. You see them both sides, and then we've got controls here for things like the garage, which we'll come back and do afterwards. So start forward, so we come up, you see nice teak laid side decks here. You see these big glass windows running down the cockpit side. These are opening side windows by the Helm and also on the co-pilot side opposite. Plenty of cleats, so very easy to get comfortable on your mooring. Covered up at the moment, but we've got a big sun pad on the bow here, great for when you're running slow speed or a tanker. And then a good sized Lumar winch. It's actually been upgraded, so you've got that large stainless steel, beautiful stainless steel anchor and chain here. There's 50 meters of chain, so it's a big upgrade on standard, so beautifully finished in stainless. There's a plug in there for a deck wash system as well. You'll notice LED deck lights here that run all the way around the side decks, so it looks great at night. They're in a blue finish. You can see how much light's let down into the cockpit. We've only got the roof open about halfway at the moment. You can still see how much light's let in. That's the versatility of having an open cockpit boat like this, with a soft roof rather than a hard roof. So pros and cons to each setup, but it does mean you can get a massive expanse opening here when you so wish. Up top we've got a Garmin. It's a 4 kilowatt HD colour radar. We've got a remote control spotlight and aerials for things like GPS. You can see the DPS aerial up there on the starboard side, and a single VHF aerial. Nice rails running along the roof here, so we've got plenty of handrails as we walk forward. Decks are wide enough, in fact, to walk round forward without having to shuffle your feet, which is great. There's a hatch down there into the forward cabin for emergencies. Let's head on aft and take a look through the cockpit. Black canopies, so obviously in its storage position at the moment. So if you're using here in the northern European waters. It's very much practical year-round usage, and you can see here how much space is afforded through the cockpit even with the covers up. So we've got a large aft sun pad here which stretches across the garage roof, so with plenty of seating, probably for four bodies I would say. And you can pull this backrest cushion forward here onto the back seat, just gives you a little bit more space for lounging out when you wish. See nice little textures on the upholstery. It's a Movida, like a Silvertex fabric, so it's got a texture to it, feels really nicely finished. Huge table here, so this folds away into the portside bulwark when you don't need it. So top is split into two, nice if you just want to put it away into a coffee table setup in the evening. It's made by Besant's Only, big Italian, lovely stainless steel leg there, saying just literally cushion out and the whole thing folds away to give you this massive open cockpit if you want the space for entertaining. Nice little seat opposite, so just maximising sort of social, everybody being able to space around. And then you've got forward of that a wet bar, so lifting the top up here we've got hot and cold running water in the sink. We've got electric barbecue, obviously onboard generator, and then below this is a pull-out refrigeration drawer. We've got an ice maker in this one. This is your cockpit AV system with a Bluetooth connectivity into iPhones and what have you. These are remote controls for the bathing platform in the garage. And then if we come forward, so you'll notice we've just gone up from one step here forward in the cockpit. We've now got a nice chaise on the port side, so you've got plenty of space for a couple of people facing forward this side, and then a little place to put drinks. And standing here on this raised plinth now, I can get my head out, so I want to get a view of what's going on around us. I can do. And then opposite on the helm side, we've got obviously a pilot and co-pilot seat here with various little upgrades to get comfortable. So this is a drop down platform here, which gives you just a little bit more height for when you're driving. These are little lift up bolster cushions on the seats to give you support if you're driving while stood up. And then if we sit at the helm, we've got a opening window here. I say nice easy, so you want to put your head out for manoeuvring and what have you. And just scanning across the dash, we've got DSC, Garmin VHF, anchor chain counter, fire suppression for the engine bay, remote control spotlight, Volvo's EVC controls, so one finger in and out of gear. So manoeuvring wise with those pod drives, if you're not using the joystick, you can still do everything on the throttles. But the benefit of IPS, really what sells the system, is the fact that you've got this IPS joystick. So throttles back into neutral when you're coming in to do your berthing, literally activate the joystick, and then we've got complete control of the pods on this. So pushing it sideways engages, we can rotate the top at the same time, so we can bring the boat across and then level it out whilst we're coming into a sideways berth. So it's a really clever system, intuitive. Coming in backwards, you just place it backwards, and again you can steer the boat to really point and shoot parking, for want of a better word. It's very intuitive for people not on boats every weekend. And then you've also got the benefit of bow thruster, so really keeping control of the bow, even though the IPS will deal with that more than adequately. You've just got complete control of the systems. Nice tilt steering wheel, so everything's really nicely to hand here around the helm. I've got a 7-inch Volvo upgraded colour display here, giving me fuel burn, digital tank temperatures and pressures and what have you, and then things like speed and depth here. We're reading 78.3 hours port, 78.7 starboard. Boat's in pool at the moment, just prepping for sail. So once she's back up in my home of Sunseeker Southampton at Swanwick, another couple of hours on the engines, but really very little usage in her first couple of seasons. Nice bank of Carling switches giving us pump and horn and light controls up here. And then a Garmin integrated, so it's a glass bridge touchscreen display. We've got AIS targets on here, so it's giving us chart, it's giving us combination of things like radar. We've got engine instrumentation on here, so it's a very clever system. I say it'll integrate with an iPad as well through their app, so it's a very neat helm here. So it's a really nice place to spend time as a helm, and I've got nice comfy bucket seats which really make you feel part of the boat when you're driving. So currently sat down, I've got a really great view through all the windows, so you see how much natural light's coming in through that roof, even with all that space still for it to retract all the way back. Great visibility, I can see the platform from here, and if I stand up on that raised plinth now, I can see all the way around the boat. So let's head on down, take a look at the interior. Lots of custom options on these, so finding a wood finish that suits, say, they're very personal, and we've got a mixture two-tone wood in here. So this is a light oak finish that we've got on the floors, companionway stairs, and then this is a black American walnut with a gloss finish on the bulkheads and the cabinetry. We've got nice little, like a biscuit leather inlays in these cupboards, so these all lift up. You've got storage, soft closes on all of these. She's got full European reverse cycle aircon, so heating and cooling. See the domestic panels up here run off the generator as well as the shore power system. Nice bank of main control switches when we first come in to turn batteries on, and then the other switch panel we'll see in a sec. It's all nice and easy to use as well. Very neutral colours in here, so marine theme. We've got a sort of blue and white fleck upholstery. It's a soft material rather than a leather. And then just looking at things like the table, say this has all been covered up from new, so presents very well, say with 70 odd hours on, very little usage. Nice 32-inch Samsung TV up on the top there. We've got speakers up in the ceiling here, you'll see, for a surround system, and also DVD player, so it'll stream off a phone and what have you. So very nice little package. Big skylight up in the ceiling here above, lets a lot of natural light in. And then to port, we've got a galley, so lots of handy storage cupboards. You've got a good sized fridge in the middle there. Of course, Fairline's own cutlery, and up top here you see we've got a little bit of storage, and this is all your crockery in here. So we've got plates, say bowls and coffee cups and what have you. Cooking appliances, so we've got a 2-burner electric hob top here, to say generator or shore power system. We've got a nice sharp convection microwave oven sat up here on the bulkhead, and then we've got a good size single bowl stainless steel sink. So it's a nice compact galley here, say plenty of space to prepare meals if you're on board for a few days at a time. And then accommodation, so the boat's split into 2 cabins. Forward is your guest cabin, so coming through here on the port side we'll see it's currently in the scissor berth configuration, so these berths can spin together into a centerline island double. Then there's got a sort of a worktop either side of the bed for storage, and then we've got some nice lift up cupboards up top here. Again, really nice high luster black American walnut. It's a very rich feel in here, very classic boat colours, say again with blue mattress covers, cream carpets and what have you. Everything's in great shape. A lot of natural light, say in through hatch at the top. We've got those big glass windows that we saw in the hull earlier, with these nice blinds on the side. Just open those up and you can see the big glass windows behind here. And then we'll just notice here on the port side before we go to the heads, we've got a little bit of storage in here, good sized wardrobe, everything's lit for easy use. Bedding comes with the boat, so it's got duvets and pillows on already, just the bedding to choose going forward. So it's a Jack and Jill arrangement, so this is your day head from the saloon, and then also for the second guest cabin here. So we've got a good size shower stall there, you can see with a permanent shower set up behind the door, so you haven't got to dry out this compartment. It can obviously be a bit of a thoroughfare in the day if nobody's in here. And then we've got electric Dometic freshwater flush toilet, so a good sized sink, plenty of prep area for getting dolled up in the evenings, say plenty of storage. You've got mirrored cupboards up here on the outboard side, and again windows behind the blinds, so it's very light and airy throughout. You see nice little detailing of things like the LED lighting under the sofas. I haven't got any of the lights on in the saloon here, and you can still feel how bright the boat feels throughout. So then party piece really for a 43 foot boat, which is about 47 feet overall. We've actually got a midships full beam master cabin. So where you typically see a centerline double in here, they've actually done it as per some of the older style Targas. It's offset onto one side, so headboard is on the starboard of the boat. Those massive glass windows behind, and we come down into what is then effectively a flat, almost a flat floor, a little step either side of the bed here, and a pretty good ceiling height. So me being just up to 6 feet, I say very much can walk around the bed here without banging my head on anything. Got this lovely checkerboard detailing through the headboard here, just as a feature panel. And again, detailed LED lights all around the bed. See some protective covering on the floors here at the moment, but you can see nice LEDs. Big sofa opposite the bed, which is on the port side of the boat. To say it's a real quiet, you can't hear, say, the seagulls outside and the water slapping on the hull. It's a very quiet area midships in the boat. Again, with air conditioning, climate control and what have you. And then on the forward bulkhead, as per other Targas, we've got some nice handy storage cupboards. There's a safe tucked down in the bottom there. Good sized wardrobe. I say little handy cupboards. They're really packed in the storage. Fairline always very practical. Boners that want to get out and use the boat on the water, say it's always practicality as well as performance and looks. It's a real all-in-one package. We mentioned earlier briefly about the switches, so you've got this nice easy, everything's to hand here, easy to read for your main breaker systems. And then below the floors, so this is a big lift up locker, access down into things like your black waste tank and what have you. Handy storage in the floor here if you've got, you know, big packets of crisps and bottles of water and extra provisions if you're away on the boat for a few days at a time. So say all in all, it's a pretty comprehensive spec. So just running through my list to see if I've missed anything else on the spec. Mattresses are sprung mattresses. She's got Lumishore, 2 Lumishore underwater lights on the bathing platform, underneath on the transom there. And that's pretty much it. So there's a Williams 280 mini jet tender available by separate negotiation, if you so wish. If I just turn the ignitions off here, we can go and check out the garage. They have a safety function so that they won't open the garage or drop the platform without turning them off. Let's just pop the garage up. So I like to do these things in real time so you can just see how quick they are in real life, rather than cutting to the party piece once it's up. So this section is actually the high-low platform, so that will drop down as well. I'm not going to do that now just so we don't get the teak wet. But we've got this nice, say, pretty substantial sized garage here, whether you've got a tender in there or just storage. It's actually on this boat built for a Williams 280 mini jet. And then you'll see a couple of little catches in the floor that you undo, and then that actually lifts up to give you full service access on top of the engines. So just a case of dropping that tender out. It's a Williams shuttle system, so very easy launch and recovery. You've got an electric winch which recovers the tender in, say with the platform down. It's a very straightforward system that most of the main manufacturers use. And we just pop up this locker here on the port side and climb down, and you can just get a feel for how tight the engines are currently on the garage, but what space you'd have if you lift that floor up. So say engines really tucked down underneath just to maximise that accommodation up top. You can see these D6 engines, say, stuffed right in underneath the floor. You see the pods, the top of the IPS pods there down the back, and say the whole floor, this whole arrangement up here all lifts up, so you've then got great access for doing your checks. So daily things like strainer baskets are here. These days with modern diesel engines, really there isn't a need to do any checks on the actual engines per se, occasional oil checks and what have you, but the sensor's really telling you if anything's not happy. So nice little compact generator. I would guess that's around 6 kVA in the box there, just enough to run the aircon. And we've got things like battery chargers and again breakers for some of the systems on board that aren't on that downstairs panel that we saw earlier. So say it's a great spec. Nothing really to add on. So I'll leave the garage open just so you can get a feel for what the outside looks like with that up. Asking price £585,000 sterling ex tax. We brought the boat back from the Channel Islands where she was delivered to her first owner, so we will pay the VAT now and reclaim. So there's a potential then to supply, depending on where in the world she's going, either with or without tax on the future. Purchase price, and obviously as a dealer approved stock boat, we'd normally go through all the systems and what have you to make sure she's 100% prior to a new owner taking over. I think the balance of factory warranties is just coming to an end during June. So she's literally been supplied about 12 months ago, so now's an opportunity if you're looking to beat the waiting list. save yourself a little bit of money on the cost of a new boat. Say she's a great opportunity, and I say once all the systems are completed and checked off here, she'll be coming up to Swanwick, where I will get her ashore to prepare anti-fouling and what have you. So viewings very much encouraged, to say whether it's in Poole or Southampton. If you'd like to know any more information, my name is James from Sunseeker Southampton. Mobile is +44 7747 686 587, or drop me an email to james.lumley@sunseekersouthampton.com. Send you a full library of photos, technical spec, talk you through title paperwork, and of course anything like your training, berthing, insurance, assistance with finance, things like that. Very much a one-stop shop here. We can help you with as little or as much as you wish to get you out on the water here in the UK while the sun's still out. I hope you enjoyed the tour today, and we'll talk to you soon.